Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 5th of December. Apologies for having this up much later than usual. I know it would be up usually during the day. Hopefully you find this useful. As always guys, been super busy with the Team of the Week SBCs. Hopefully you enjoyed them. 3 out of 4 this week for the Marquee Matchups. Let's keep the form going. Remember to check out everyone involved with the Marquee Matchups League. We've been doing that still. So smash likes are always, sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, GZLegend. All links are down below as always guys. So first route of the week is Toulouse and Bordeaux. Because there's a French route already currently out there, I personally don't see this happening. While it is a smallish derby in the league, Bordeaux really have bigger rivals, and it's kind of same for Toulouse. But 5 out of 10 for 4 5 out of 10 for likelihood. This week is going to be an interesting mixed bag for kind of ratings for likelihood, but fairly straightforward. Toulouse, you'd probably look at not really, there's like Gradle's really kind of the main player that you're kind of going to focus on, and then obviously Bordeaux, you've got like Otavio is one kind of good smart option, and then Malcolm as well, the right mid if you had him. Now EPL have 4 options this week, 3 proper derbies in the form of the Manchester derby between Manchester United and Manchester City, Merseyside derby, Liverpool versus Everton, and West Ham versus Chelsea. Now Huddersfield versus Brighton is the 4th game, mainly because it is a 2 teams promoted and they kind of need the win. Now my feeling is 7 out of 10 for the Manchester United versus Manchester City, but also 7 out of 10 for Liverpool versus Everton. They're going to do one of the 2 games, I don't know which one, but an EPL game either way will feature. The other two EPL games I've gave personally as a 6. The way I've kind of built the squad is of the logic that basically the 8 teams will feature, and just built kind of to the rating required of a 79 rated squad, and then built it around from there. That is my personal feeling, that I would say that they're going to go EPL. Which game out the 4 I honestly do not know, but as long as you're prepared, you'll be sorted for the Marquee Matchups this week. But it's going to be fun and games. Everyone's going to be intrigued to know which one of the EPL games that they do cover, because it is absolutely crazy that 4 games in the EPL of 10 have a strong chance of featuring in the Marquee Matchups this week. It's like unheard of in any league really, but it will make for fun viewing, I would say, so be prepared. Juventus versus Inter, obviously Juventus featuring this week, and as a result I can't see it happening. That's why we've given it quite a low rating this week. But personally, people will still prepare Juventus versus Inter because it's 2 big teams in the league, and it's like 2 of the top 3-4 teams in the league just now. Like a lot of people will probably go like Eder, Asamoah, Rugani, Ficino, I think it is. I'm sure it's Ficino that plays in centre midfield, and players like that. Those are relatively cheap that they can kind of just throw in. Ambrosio's another, for example. But personally I don't see it happening, only because Juventus are already in this week's Marquee Matchups. They can easily work around it. Spartak, CSK Moscow, it's deemed, for what I gather, it's the major Moscow derby. It's like the biggest one. Wherever they feature or not is a different matter. We've just had one a couple of weeks ago, and part of me feels like they may or may not include it. And 2 kind of minds on it, and I'm still feeling the 2 minds about it, and I'm not 100% I feel like I should be convinced, but I feel like I'm not at the same time. So I'm all over the place with the rating for it. But players that people will go for Spartak is like Luis Adriano, Zia Luis. CSK is like Vitinho, Mario Fernandes, Shenikov, the Bezerutsky brothers, and Golovin, not Golovkin. Then not Australia, I was about to say Argentina there, but that's later on. But Australia, you've got 2 options in the Western Sydney Wanderers game, which I fancy, and the Melbourne Victory versus Adelaide. 2 big derbies. With the Sydney derby, that's one I'm focusing on the overlay. Probably say 60. It'll probably be a 67 rated squad, I would say minimum, but you could easily get to 70. And personally, I would fancy it because they've had a chance a few times, they've neglected it, and this is the time that they will potentially feature the A-League. It would be quite smart as well. It would be like with the Scottish League, how all the players kind of had a small value up. The same could happen here. When the Melbourne game cropped up, that blew up big time. I doubt the same would happen here, but still be fully aware of the option. I've given it a 6 out of 10. I've not given it the full 7 because I'm not 100% convinced. Greek have PAOK versus Panathinaikos. We had one not so long ago, and I just feel like they don't seem to have much. It's not appreciation. I just feel that they don't seem to want to give the Greek league much for SBCs or anything. But for way to kind of prepare for this, for PAOK, you've got plenty silvers. Not really much in terms of the goals, to be honest. But Panathinaikos, you've got like Malido. He's kind of like the main one. Munir, if you can get him cheap. And then it's just a case of working around the team from there. I've got Lavadia, Emenike, Pardo, El Abdelouli, Engels, Capino thrown in. But see what they do. Rosario versus New Roll Boys. Big game in Argentina, but I don't think they're going to do it. I know they could easily make this a curveball option for the week, but I don't think they will. I feel there's better, bigger options out there that they can kind of opt for. I feel this would be the kind of route though that they would probably make it like a 70 overall rating, and depending on how they wanted to play it, you could easily just throw in a few nations, maybe like Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia. That would be your 3 nations, and then like rares is fairly straightforward. I know I've not quite got it to a rare squad, I think, looking at it, but you'd probably need a few, 3 or 4, and you'd kind of be sorted, and it'd be fairly straightforward. MLS Cup final, I think, is going to happen. It's been due to happen, and I think we're finally going to get an MLS route in the marquee matchups. Now, obviously, the Columbus Crew versus Toronto was a derby. Irrespective of whoever features in the final, I'd imagine will happen. Be aware that the final is the 2 legs, the second leg of the first set that was played is happening, but I think we'll see what happens with the marquee matchups for next week. They're going to feature the MLS Cup final in some way or another. Where it features this week is a different matter, but I am feeling pretty confident about it because it's been coming and coming and coming, and we finally might have it, guys. That's the kind of way I'm feeling about it. That is my kind of main feeling this week. Ajax PSV, one of the biggest games in Holland, another standout shout for the week, and I really do fancy it. Be fully aware though that Willem and Nak Breda feature as well. That is the right back and left striker. They could also feature. It is a derby, but Ajax versus PSV is the bigger option, and it would kind of not make the MMs too expensive, really, but it would make it for fun viewing. Like PSV and Ajax, you've got plenty to work with, like Ziyech, De Jong, De Ligt, Veltman. PSV's got Lozano, so you're not going to find it light on options. You're going to be pretty well covered. Ramslar's another. I love how that just kind of suddenly came out of my head there. But as I said, Ajax versus PSV, 7 out of 10. Rating wise could probably be 75. I can't see them going too high for it, depending on how they want to play it out. And the last route of the week is Hibernian versus Celtic. Obviously Aberdeen versus Rangers cropped up this week, which was a bit unexpected. I thought Hibernian versus Celtic was going to be the option, and I feel personally this would be not happening now, which is a bit of a shame because I think both teams have quite a bit of seriousness in them. But for me, 3 out of 10, it's not going to happen. There is much stronger options now for this week, but still, I'm sure if you've invested in the league for the potential League SBC, then you should be sorted, I feel, because I think that's going to crop up sooner before Christmas. Relatively small league to be prepared for. But as I say, guys, my 4 that I fancy is MLS Cup final, the Ajax game, EPL, and then the Sydney Western Sydney Wanderers game. Hopefully you find this useful. As always, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you fancy for the marquee matchups for this week. Smash the likes as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GsLegend, all links are down below as always, and I will catch you all later.